Hi guys, this is me once again, and welcome back to yet another Starcraft English commentary, criticism, research, and news reporting. Exactly, that's right. I'm Namcraft, and I'm back in here in fresh and bone for you guys. I might have been away for some time. You might have seen incarnations of me, versions of me, copies of me floating around somewhere. In real life, you might have met me, might have seen me walking down the street, and you might have been right or you might have been wrong. That might have been just me or just another ghost of me. But anyways, I'm back here for real, at least temporarily. Anyways, this might be a problem with the way that the world is structured these days. But I hope I can be with you for as long as possible. Anyways, enough of those cryptical talks. Let's talk about this game. So this is going to be ASL Season 16, Ro16, Group D, the last of the groups. And the first match is going to be Best versus Sharp. Once again on the map Retro. We have seen, excellent games on Retro between all of these players. And it's very, very nice to see yet another champion, another great player like Best to fight in this group. He was one of the top 4 finishers in the previous ASL, so this is why he's here today. And his opponent is going to be Sharp, another great remnant of the past, another great shade of the ancient glory that is called the Kespa Empire that no longer exists, right? Just like the Inca Empire in the American what is it, continent in the 16th and 15th, what is it, 12th to 14th centuries? Is it when the Inca Empire existed? But anyways, yeah, every time the best play, I have to show you this picture. And if you know me, as much as I think you know who I am, then you would recognize this picture instantly. It is the picture of Best about, I think 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago, yeah. That's right. Best there in Flesh and Bone, together with the other, shades of the old Casper glory, namely Reigned and Paralyzed, and I don't know who's the guy in the blue shirt, but it's me, Jim Raynor, along with the Titans, along with the Giants, in the, inducted in the Hall of Fame. Anyways, let's put away of this very horrendous photo picture of me. Let's move back to this game, and before we talk about this game, and before we talk about StarCraft in general, let's talk about myself, because I'm in serious trouble as usual. And to be honest, I don't know how much longer I can remain with you on this life. It might be just another round of StarCraft games. It might be the last season of ASL. You might see me. Uh, but you know what? The one thing I can be for certain for sure is that I'm gonna be trying my best to fight to stay alive, because I love life. I love watching and casting these amazing StarCraft games with you, and I'm not gonna let some authorities, on the subject matter tell me otherwise. Yeah, but if one day you don't see me anymore, then please know that my heart, my prayers and thoughts are still with you, all of you. Maybe some of you have never left a comment on my channel, and that's okay. I mean, I still sense your presence just by the fact that you're watching my videos, and I really appreciate that, and all of your comments as well. The ones that don't like my cast, I really appreciate your comments as well. The ones that say nasty things about me, I appreciate your presence on this live as well, because nothingness is not better than life, right? So I appreciate all of those good and bad moments. Anyways, let's talk about this game. It's gonna be Best versus Sharp. The map's gonna be Retro, and we have a voucher coming out for Sharp. He's gonna get up on the ram, and where's the other Dragoon? Looks like it's gonna pop out any moment now. But before that, this voucher's gonna have a field day. Missing the first shot, though, very, very good for Best to turn around. He's gonna be losing his first probe and his second probe. No, I'm not so sure if the second probe was lost. Let's make sure that Best puts back one of his probe on gas. On the other side of the map, Sharp is gonna go for command center. It's already finishing, and he's gonna transfer some of his CV. Yeah, and the game is gonna proceeding on from there. Let's see if Sharp's gonna go for the fast expo as well. That's gonna be suicidal, because we have a Robo and a Observer already. This map, Retro, we've seen some crazy actions on this map, especially being Protoss versus Terran. The 6 o'clock base, man. We've seen some games where Protoss players just play so well and contain the Terran players really well. And then when it comes to the time to take the base, he takes the 6 o'clock base, and Terran just push across it and kill it. I don't remember the exact games. Maybe me was involved. But on this map, you need to kind of expand away from Terran. That's basically the advice I want to give the Protoss players. But looks like Sharp's gonna go for double factory. I think this is within the calculations of Best. He's got 2 gate already. His Robo is sorry, is his core is not yet spinning, so Dragoon range is okay. What's happening? Is Dragoon range finished or what? I'm not so sure. Maybe it's not yet finished. And that's rather late. I think it's either finished or Best has some crazy plans that we don't know about. Anyways, Sharp has an eye on the 3 o'clock position. He knows that that base could get taken by the Protoss, so he's gonna put up I think a mine and at least a mine there. The other green dot at the 3 o'clock position on the screen is possibly a vulture, and he's also positioning several mines as well as another vulture at the 6 o'clock position. So both of the players are jogging for position here, and Sharp, I think, is sensing Best presence inside his base because there's an observer, and he can see the blurb on that observer. Looks like this vulture is going to be hiding in the corner, and Best turns around just as his probe comes over. Let's see, we have another vulture coming through, but does Best put down the Nexus? He needs to put the Nexus down now. He's going to try to run away. And the vulture escaped in the last minute. What a terrible miscalculation by Best, and amazing hindsight by Sharp. And he's going to try to catch another probe coming out as well. Vulture don't have speed, so they're going to take a long time to actually get to their destination. But at least delaying this expansion at this 7-minute mark is critical. And you see how Best minerals is floating as around 700, and that really was unexpected of him. He didn't expect to be having that much surplus minerals at this stage. Everything was calculated, everything was by the book, in his mind up until this point. And Sharp did disrupt that. And so let's see if that has any kind of consequence in the mid-game situation. We have this vulture coming in. It's been damaging from before, so Best takes it out. Nothing major. And we're going to be seeing the first Reaver of the game coming out now. Best to make sure he secures all of the entrance towards his 3 o'clock base before he commences any kind of Reaver harassments, because Vulture with speed and might can just wreck the probe line and ruin his day. Looks like Sharp is preparing hard for a counter air as well, with several Goliaths, mines, and turrets in critical location. This observer from Best comes out. He want to check out this high ground just outside of the behind the natural here, because many places, many times, many occasions, the Protoss player can just bulldog his way out of the Terran expansion on retro, just because there's this ridge here that can get easily exploited. And this is why Best is putting up a lot of Goliaths in the vicinity, just to make sure he's able to cover everything really nicely. And we have this base not yet closed up here, and Best doesn't have any Dragoon in the area. Need to close it up now. Looks like he's getting ready to. No, looks like we have one probe moving. This probe is gonna meet the vulture in the center, and the vulture's gonna take out the probe. The vulture's gonna go home. Yeah, this is a game of cat and mouse now. Because okay, we have another probe coming out, because Best doesn't position anything to block here. But Sharp doesn't know that, so Sharp doesn't even send his vulture out. And knowing that Sharp doesn't know, Best doesn't close his door and just save himself 200 more minerals. We have a nice army movement coming over here from Sharp. He's got a lot of forces. I don't know if +1 weapons is done or not, but he's gonna go for an expansion now. And okay, vulture with speed finally completes. Best is gonna try to clear out this area. He knows that there's a vulture on the high ground. We have 2 vultures coming out, trying to block or at least get some kind of harassment done, but looks like Best is holding on quite well. So these vultures will have to run out. We have no probe coming out, and so that vulture on the high ground dies for the time being. And we have 2 more vultures flying through. We have a probe coming through, but the probe from Best is able to set up his new base on time. On the other side of the map, we're seeing Sharp also setting up his new base, but Best has an observer or something eyeing the 9 o'clock position, so he has a good idea. Best has built his City of Adun, so he's gonna be transitioning into a Zelle with leg. I think no Temporal Archive yet for Best. Best is the one that championed the use of Shuttle with speed and storm drops against Terran continuously, way past the 10-minute mark. And let's see if he's gonna try his signature here. Now the key to this build by Best is low econ. You just don't have to build too many probes and so forth. You just trade and make sure you destroy, you break Terran forces repeatedly until they have no more forces remaining. We have double vulture coming through. These 2 vultures have been damaged, so 1 Dragoon could take care of them, but he needs to be careful, Best, to make sure that there's going to be no mine getting laid here. And looks like Best is getting ready to contain the Protoss, the Terran army a little bit. He pushes back, and we have a Shadow with what, 2 Reavers at least. He comes in and drops 2 Reavers. And the Goliath, we need to get targeted by Best so that the Shadow can escape. He targets them perfectly. Excuse me, not perfectly, perfectly. And yeah, this command center is gonna get wasted damage a little bit. We have a dropship coming out from shop. Let's see if cannons have been set in position yet by Best. It looks like we don't. I mean, it's very, very hard to see on the minimap. If Best transfer his probes to his new base now, then he's gonna be having a nice probe saturation in the new base and less probe saturation in the old bases. Which means that less potential for the drop to do. It looks like the drop is gonna commence now. We don't look at this area. Let's take a look at the 5 o'clock position. We have a single cannon. It's gonna come up. A tank is here. Best is not paying attention. He's gonna transfer the rest of his forces in, and looks like the tank is gonna start to target the probe line. He's able to take out several probes. But that's going to be the end of that attack. And Best is now 160 to supply. Sharp is 115. Best is still holding this base hostage, with several tanks and Goliaths. But Sharp is unable to claim this base. And looks like it's going to start to burn down a little bit. We're seeing the attack on several locations. Best is dropping Zelle on the low ground and Zelle on the high ground. He needs to take out the tank. If the command center burns down, that's going to be disastrous. For Sharp, looks like the Shadow is going to be losing its life though. Best needs to be careful not to lose the Shadow. He needs to hold back with his Dragoon just to make sure that the Terran army cannot get on the high ground. That's all. Don't even go for the attack. I would tell Best he's gonna just trade a little bit here. Looks like the Reaver on the high ground is not yet being used. These Zealots are doing an excellent job getting mingling, having some tight action in close quarters with the tank here. But they're gonna start to die now, so it's gonna be time for Best to back up a little bit into the high ground. He needs to back up now because there's several tanks retreating, reinforcing in this area, and backs up, takes out the barracks. Would be a great idea. So no more vision for the Terran army. Best is ahead by about 40 supply. We've seen this situation several times in the past where the Protoss armored player just dominate, but then when it comes to take the next base, the Protoss player takes the 6 o'clock position. So I'm gonna tell Best, don't take the 6 o'clock position. A lot of vultures are running through. How many cannons do we have in position? Looks like Best anticipate this kind of risk. He's gonna move a lot of his Zealot over as well to this area just to cover for his 4th base in the 2 o'clock position. We're seeing a lot of cannons getting set up. Best has 2 Reavers on this high ground, and it's going to take Sharp a long time. The cannons are not yet ready. Okay, the cannon comes in at just the right moment. How many probes are going to get massacred? Looks like the probes are going to be running for their lives, and the vulture run up on the high ground. There's nothing here though, so the Zealot's going to be able to take them out. And Best need to think about those vultures in the back. Looks like he's not paying attention. Looks like we have a single cannon that covers those areas, so that's great. And Best saves some of his probe, and these vultures are going to get micro hard by Sharp. And Best actually, he's got to take a 6 o'clock position. He's sending a probe over there. I don't think it's a wise idea, man. Don't take the 6 o'clock position. We've seen repeated failures by Protoss player to take the 6 o'clock position when the Terran player just have 2 bases for this. He can just float his command center over. What is Best doing? He's gonna be losing his Reaver. Pick up the Reaver. He's gonna finally pick up the Reaver and hide in the corner and try to buy some time. Sharp 1,000 minerals. Best 600 minerals. Supply difference is about 20, but that doesn't really matter that much. Finally, we have these vultures trying to come down south, but I think they're as good as that. So that's gonna be the end of that group of vultures, and Best need to take the base at the 1 o'clock position, man. Don't take any other bases on this map. Just be slow and steady. More Shadow coming over. This Shadow possibly have a High Templar. Best is hiding in the corner. And you know what? If I was Sharp, I would make a lot more turrets because Best is going double robo. And looks like we're gonna be having some High Templar drop. This is a great idea because the SCV saturation in these bases are quite high, and that's a beautiful drop. Look at the amount of SCV that's burned to pieces here. Best 185 supply, Sharp 133, and this is a great way to kind of clear up Psy and make Sharp lose his economy. And now he can retreat back. I think the Shadow with the Reaver is already gone like centuries ago, and Best can reinforce, and he finally Best takes the base at the 1 o'clock position. That's going to be a nice idea because after this base from Terran is secure, Sharp is going to be looking forward to the 6 o'clock base, and Best need to not have his probe in that area. He needs to just focus on defending it with his army and not have to worry about getting his probe sniped and just being risked, right? I mean, don't put your eggs in one basket is basically the investment advice that Warren Buffett gives all of us, right? So what it means is that instead of taking the 6 o'clock base and risk losing both your armies and your probes in the same place, take your base somewhere else. And that way, oh my god, these 2 Dragoons, poor them, they're going to die. The last Dragoon is, oh, it's surviving. Okay, that's great. You know, instead of expanding and also defending the same place with your army, spread them out so that the place where you engage in the battle is not the place where your probes are going to die. I think that advice has some legal basis and some logical foundation as well. Looks like the cannon at that base, the 1 o'clock base by best, is kind of weird. It's like in the middle of nowhere. It needs to either hug the mineral line or be exactly at the choke, not in a random location in the center, I think. Anyways, the next base for Sharp is possibly going to be the center. We've seen several times Terran player go for the center. Looks like quadruple shuttle going in. What do we have here? Some Goliaths getting ready. We have some Zealot bombing, but there are no tanks. So, oh my god, so many of best armies gonna get eaten up. He needs to turn around. Yeah, he does turn around. Zealot is doing a lot of attack in the main. Looks like this cannon's gonna be falling, but some Zealot are reinforcing from behind, so that's good. Best is returning with the rest of his shuttle, but he needs to have some Dragoons, so it looks like he's turning with the rest of his army. This as probe is gonna get on the high ground, and they gotta start to lay some mines, and it's gonna be disastrous for Best. Looks like Best gonna take out the armory though. There's nothing upgrading in that army for the timing, so that's not a big damage for Sharp. But look at this, Sharp is clearing out the probes in each of the mineral line in Best main and Best expansion. I mean, this doesn't have that much consequences because those bases have been mined out for a long time, but that's really disrupted Best game plan here. He's forced to resend his entire force back, and that's going to give the opportunity for Sharp to go for the huge counter-attack. Look at those green lines moving all across the map towards the top right corner. What the heck is Best doing with his army? And this prop line getting transferred back, getting caught in between in the action as well. Best is kind of falling apart. What is he doing? Okay, looks like he's going to be turning the probes towards the 6 o'clock position, but all of the probes are dead, and Best now sees that there's a lot of forces moving across the map. Supply-wise, Sharp is 160, Best only 59, and this is the critical moment for Sharp. If he can break Best now, he's going to have a great chance to win. Best needs to kind of rebuild his stuff, rebuild his economy, rebuild his High Templar account, and kind of hold here. Looks like the attack is going to commence now. Best has a couple of Dragoons getting stuck here. He needs to pull all the way back. This isn't a bad place to engage because Terran is going to get forced to get across this map, and High Templar with Storm can just rain from above. That is a nice stormy area here, and Best needs to attack now. He cannot not turn back anymore. He starts to attack. A nice D-Matrix, and Zealot moving forward, and we have some shadow dropping stuff behind enemy line, which isn't bad idea, but all of them are dying in the last minute. Not a single storm was cast in that group, and Best is losing everything supply-wise. Sharp is 150, Best is 108, and looks like this entire area is breached, and vultures coming through in this base, and this position is doomed. Like I said, never take that base when you play against Terran on this map, and how a critical vulture run by Sharp is able to do that much damage is just beyond me. And now look at this rally point from Best. I guess it's fine because he's gonna try to do some crazy mind drag against the Terran armies, and that isn't a bad idea. Alright, but it looks like Sharp is gonna eye the base at the 3 o'clock position now. What is gonna be the response from Best? Does he have more forces? He's got some more Dragoons coming out on the other side, excuse me. And Best can just rely on his shadow to do some attack now. The tank's gonna target the probe. Looks like they don't target the probe. Huge counter attack by Best. High Templar casting several times on the SCV. Need to cast a storm now. Looks like we don't see any storm casted. Where's the oh my god, those 5 shadows don't really contain anything, and Best didn't get anything done in that attack. And now Sharp is going to take the 6 o'clock base, or he might take the base in the center. I'm not so sure, but anyways, Best is going to have a huge problem playing from behind here. He's forced to... Why is he sending probes from the 2 o'clock base to the 1 o'clock base? I don't really understand. We can see some probe movement there, but Best has 5 shadows still, and he's going to try to fly stuff all over the areas. Yeah, he evacuated this area. Maybe he's thinking that there's going to be some problem. And what is happening here? High Templar with Storm, and that is a nice Storm. Clear up a lot of the side, but look at those beefy SV. I mean, I think 6 or 7 of them die, but not all. This is a nice drop, and Best is fighting hard to try to come back here. Do we have some kind of crazy mind track? I'm not so sure, but anyways, Best 108 supply, Sharp at 105. The game is not yet over for Best. He needs to use his shadows, more efficiently. And Sharp, on the other hand, he needs to build more turrets and get more Goliath heavy. We're seeing what kind of the army movement here. Looks like Best have 3 bases. Sharp is also 3 bases, but only one of Sharp's bases is mining. We're seeing some SCV distance mining in the center area. we're gonna be seeing a major engagement here, and Best is coming out with quintuple shuttle. That's gonna be a nice idea, but he's checking the situation also with his observer. This science vessel is being very, very annoying here in the middle of the map. Okay, finally the command center is floating over, and Best need to distribute his probe a little bit more smartly. He needs to have more probes in his other bases, and need to take another base as well, because now it's like 2 base mining Protons versus 2 base mining Terran, and this is gonna be a lot more beneficial towards Terran here. A nice minefield that able to see all of these shuttles moving across here. This base over here has very, very few SCVs remaining. It looks like Sharp is gonna turn around, because he knows that if he can defend against the base at the 9 position, it's gonna be just fine. The command center has landed now, so those SCV are gonna be returning, but we have several tanks in position, and this is gonna tell Sharp to turn around, and we have a huge drop coming. We have some Goliath in the area though. What's happening here? A lot of Zealot and High Templars. Okay, they are just all Zealot, and all of these shuttles are going to be dying, I think. So this attack is a miserable failure by Best, but these Zealot coming in without the support of Vulture, these tanks gonna melt to pieces, and this is a nice attack. And looks like the tanks on the low ground isn't able to do any kind of significant damage, and we have this High Templar. It's possible to cast one storm. It casts a storm, and it damages several tanks. But I don't know, man. Best supply is plummeting fast, so 100 supply for Sharp and 83 supply for Best. If he can do shuttle with high storm with storm drops more efficiently, he's gonna have a chance to win. But looks like these tanks are gonna be going for the counter attack now. Finally, Best breaks out with the rest of his army. He can just directly walk towards the central area. There's Best GG, and Best G. The first game goes to Sharp. That's amazing watch game so far. Thanks for watching, and if you like the guys, feel free to buy me coffee. The link is in the video description. Have a good day. Bye bye.